TLC, it's Steph from Cupcake Project. I currently live in St. Louis, Missouri, but when I was a kid growing up in Queens, New York, one of my favorite things was stopping on the way home from school to get a fudgesicle at the ice cream truck. Today, I'm going to show you how to make a modern twist on a fudgesicle. We're going to make Mocha Fudge Pops. But since I'm Cupcake Project, we're actually going to do this by making a Mocha Fudge flourless cupcake and then freezing it to turn it into our Mocha Fudge Pop. Let's give it a go. Our Mocha Fudge cupcakes have very few ingredients in them, so they're pretty easy to make. Let's take a look at what you'll need. First, you'll need 3/4 cup of sugar. You'll need 1/2 cup of Kahlua. I actually used homemade Kahlua. I have the recipe on my website. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. 18 ounces of bittersweet chocolate. 2 sticks, that's 1 cup of butter, and make sure that that butter is unsalted and it's at room temperature, so it's nice and soft. 3 egg whites and 3 eggs. First thing we need to do is take our sugar, Kahlua, and salt and put it in a medium saucepan. And I'm just going to stir it until everything is combined. As soon as it's combined, which should happen really quickly, you can just turn your heat right off. The next step is melting our chocolate. I know a lot of people melt chocolate in a double boiler, and that's a great way to do it. But I'm a little bit lazy when it comes to chocolate, and I melt my chocolate in my microwave. The only thing that you need to be really careful of if you melt in the microwave is scorching the chocolate. So I do it at 10-second intervals, and after each 10 seconds, I take the chocolate out and stir it. Taking my melted chocolate and transferring it to my KitchenAid mixer bowl. I'm now going to take my butter, add it into the melted chocolate, and we're going to mix things up. We're going to mix until it's fully combined. Now you might need to stop it periodically and just scrape down the sides. You can see where these sides are kind of riding up and not getting mixed in. Now we're going to grab that hot sugar mixture that was on the stove, and we are going to mix that into our batter. Our last step before getting the cupcakes ready to go in the oven is adding our eggs. Now it's time to get these cupcakes ready to go in the oven. You'll see that I'm using a little bit of a different cupcake wrapper than you might be used to seeing. This is a cupcake wrapper that's made by Wilton, and what I like about it for our pops is that it's a little bit taller than your standard cupcake wrapper. If we look at a regular one, it's kind of squat. So when I turn these upside down to make the popsicles like we're going to do after they're frozen, this is going to look more like a popsicle. Whereas a regular cupcake wrapper is just going to look a little bit wide, kind of like a UFO. So we're going to stick with these. With these cupcake wrappers, you don't need to use a cupcake tin, which is one of the nice things about them. So we can just line them up on a cookie tray and fill them up with our batter. Because these are flourless cupcakes, they're not going to rise very much. So I can fill these cups almost all the way to the top. And the cupcakes are ready to be baked. 30 minutes have gone by, and our Mocha Fudge cupcakes are out of the oven. Now, at this point, you are going to be really tempted to eat them hot before you freeze them. And I'm getting ready to put these in the freezer, and I really can't resist. Oh my God. It's so hard to freeze these things, but don't worry, you won't regret it. We're getting ready to put them in the freezer, and before we do it, we need to put our popsicle sticks in. I'm using cookie sticks. I think they're really cute, nice and white, but you can also use plain wood popsicle sticks. So I just take my stick and insert it into the cupcake. Let's go to the freezer. When we see these next, they're going to be Mocha Fudge Pops. Check it out. They're frozen. They work on the stick. Now it's time for the real test. To remove the wrapper, you're just going to tear the paper off. It helps if it's thawed just a little bit, and you can kind of ease that process by warming it a little bit in your hands. And then you just grab one of those edges and start peeling. Hope you enjoyed the pops, and thanks for watching.